starting right now. Ready?
I have no idea how to play this game.
Ready as
Okay,
you'll
let's
ever
go.
be? Good. Um, so, very little ships travel from her hometown to Yale proper. So Riley had to stop up at a small, relatively small island, about a 2 days journey from Yale. And gotta shut off the chat. Um, Sophia, it's always Sophia. Um, so very little. After Riley got off, after traveling on a small commercial vessel, she, with a little bit of coin wit and her quick tongue, managed to secure passage on a very, very large cruise ship, which will be heading into the last 2 days into Yale proper. Now, as Riley looks around, waiting in a line of mostly elves and humans, they're all very nicely dressed, and as far as the weather goes, it seems to be nice, but as you kind of look out in the direction that the ship's going to head, you can see a storm that's approaching. There is a lot of chitter-chatter around you, and the couple in front of you is talking and says, I hear there's going to be quite the guest on this ship. Oh, really? Do you think maybe Letheon Delaria will be on here? I really autographed so bad. I listened to all of her stuff. Perhaps, and then like as they're talking, they're starting to get onto the ship. They drop off their luggage, and they start to get up on the boardwalk here. You see that one of the as they kind of leave, a kind of worker takes their luggage and puts it over there. And in front of you is a very, very well dressed sailor of some sort with a lot of stars across the band. And the worker comes up to you and says, "Hello, ma'am. I'll take your luggage, please." Do you hand your luggage to this person?
Do I perceive anything untoward about this?
Yeah. Roll an insight check. So what you're gonna do is you're going to roll a d20, and then you're gonna add your insight, which I believe you're gonna add your wisdom, and your. Sorry, I'm looking at your thing. You are proficient in insight, so you're gonna add a total of 4.
Oh god, I rolled a 4.
So you're gonna add 4
Yay.
plus your insight, which is 4. You see on your character sheet where it says insight?
Splendid. Yes, I do see it.
Great. So you rolled a total of 8.
Wow.
I mean,
I am overwhelmed.
no, it seems like this worker is kind of doing its job, and there's as you see this person, which you kind of assume is either a captain, first mate, or some kind of officer on the ship, is kind of looking very intently, just kind of making sure everything and greeting everyone as they come in. So you kind of trust that at least there's some kind of supervision or guidance here.
Okay.
So he kind of looks at you as you kind of take a second to stare at this person. He kind of looks at you and says, "Excuse me, ma'am. I can just take your luggage here."
All right. I hand my luggage over. What do I have on my person versus in my luggage?
So your luggage would be like everything in your entire backpack, which includes like all of your things like the torches and stuff like that, and your instrument, right? You have an instrument.
I have an instrument.
You have a hong, which I imagine is somewhat large.
It's decently large. It's like a steel drum.
Okay, so you probably have that in there. You have your weapons on you, and you have your holy symbol on you at all times.
Okay, good. All right.
He takes your bag and he pulls out like a pen and a little tag. He says, "Excuse me, man, can I get your full name?"
I'll take the tag from him and then I'll write it myself because I don't trust these people to spell my name correctly.
Okay. You kind of like whip it out of his hand. And he's like, "Okay," and then he hands over his pen that he was working with.
I say thank you, so as not to seem so rude.
Fair enough. He looks okay. So you write your name down, and you hand it back to him. Right. Right.
Call me Riley.
Ri-
Call me
Ri-
Riley. That will suffice.
Okay. Sorry, ma'am. Riley. Yes. Please. If you just head on to the ship, you will see servants there who will guide you to your room, and the gentleman takes your bag and then puts it over there by the rest of the luggage, and then you see like people are slowly being funneled onto the ship. And as they are, you pass in front of like the very captain, and he says, "Hello, I will be your captain for this journey. I hope your journey is well." And he just kind of
Thank you.
nods your head.
I salute him.
He says, "Thank you, ma'am." And you kind of follow the line into the ship proper.
Okay.
I'm turning into Matt. I keep saying proper over and over again. You gather a servant starts to escort you towards your room, and you head out into a fairly nice room. He says, "Here is your room, ma'am," and he opens the door. And you see on the inside. Are you good? Do you see the map in front of you?
Yeah, I see it.
Great. On the inside, you see it's a pretty nice room. There is fruit, wine, and a little cheese platter on the table. There seems to be some kind of pamphlet over there next to a very nice comfy chair and a desk and a chest. He says, "Here you go, ma'am. This is the first class room. If you have any need at all, just please ring the bell. The string is right on the side of the door, and a servant will come." And he bows and says, "Do you need anything else before I leave, ma'am?"
Quick. This is out of character.
Yeah.
Quick question: is it custom in Yale to like give tips to people?
You don't know that.
Wait.
Riley doesn't know that.
Oh well.
Find out.
Okay. All right. How much gold do I have on me right now?
You should have the amount of gold that you have. I believe you have 15 gold and then 10 gold worth of jewelry.
From what I know, that doesn't. Okay. I'll give him a gold piece.
He looks at you. And just
I will attempt to give him a gold piece.
he sees the gold piece and he's like, "Thank you, ma'am. If you need anything, if you need anything, just please call. I'll tell the servants that." And he's just like, "Just thank you. And then he just like starts like bowing away. And he gently shuts the door behind you.
All right.
So
okay.
Right now
I'm
you're
going
in the
to.
room alone.
I'm in my room alone. I am going to. I believe I have a spell called Detect Poison and Disease.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I think I might just use it gratuitously because I have no idea what I'm doing.
Sure. Let me just double check that.
Do I have a U leaf on me?
Your holy symbol takes the place of any material components.
Oh, excellent. Beautiful. Okay.
But good on you for caring about that.
Okay. I think I will cast Detect Poison and Disease because I am a paranoid person.
That's totally fine. So you look over all of the fruit,
Mm-hmm.
and the wine seems perfectly fine, so does the cheese platter. You notice that one of the fruits is bad. It doesn't particularly seem to be poisoned. It just seems to be like a bad fruit that snuck into there.
Okay. I'm gonna wander over to the pamphlets on the table and see what they say.
Yes. Just let me pull up what the pamphlet says. So you open it, and the pamphlet says, "About Yale. Since its founding, Yale has been dedicated to expanding and sharing knowledge, inspiring innovation, and preserving cultural and scientific information for future generations. Yale's reach is both local and global. The Crown works with the sectors of government to strengthen the city's community and economy, and it engages with people and institutions across the globe in a quest to promote cultural understanding, improve the human condition, delve more deeply into the secrets of the universe, and provide a better future for the world." And it goes on and on in that vague manner. You flip after kind of reading some kind of BS tourist trap stuff, and it has like a picture of half-elven woman with blue hair in front of a large music hall, and on the bottom it says Alethea Andalere. And it seems to have a few other famous people there who you don't recognize their name.
Okay, but do I recognize this Alethea Andalere's face? If not, I'm going to memorize it.
The face you do not. Obviously, you have your list of names, but beyond that,
Yes.
no, you haven't seen her face before. So you stare at the picture, and you memorize her face as much as possible.
Excellent.
She looks like
I'm gonna.
She looks like a very young half elf with a blue braided hair.
Okay. I think I'll wander over to that chest by my bed and like flip it open and see what's in it.
Yeah. So it has a lock on the chest, and you see when you flip the chest open, it's completely empty. But the lock has a lock and a key in it.
Okay.
You hear a quick knock on the door.
Okay. I open the door.
Excuse me, ma'am. Here's your luggage, I believe. And he pushes your luggage into the room.
Okay, thank you.
I believe you have second-class dinner, ma'am. So your dinner will be about 2 hours after sunset.
All right. What time is it now?
Currently it's around noonish.
Okay. I thank him and make it very clear that basically is a dismissal.
Okay. He bows and gets your attention, and then starts heading off.
Okay, I close the door after him, and does my luggage fit in the chest?
Not the whole suitcase, but you can take stuff out of it that's important to you.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and put my valuables in it, so
Okay.
probably. I have a shield. Okay, I'm gonna put my shield in it.
All right.
I'm gonna keep my hung with me. Can I do that?
It's kind of big, so if you want to carry it around.
Kind of big. Okay.
I don't know. What are the dimensions of it? Can you please describe it to me? Because I'm not exactly sure what the instrument looks like.
It's like it's like a steel kind of drum thing. It's like two cymbals put together like that, and then it's like that. It looks a bit like a miniature UFO.
How big is it?
And then the way you'd play it is like you'd sit down and you'd put it in your lap, so it's like around lap size.
Oh, I think you can carry it with you around if you like. It's a little
Okay. Never mind. I'll also put that in the chest.
big. All right.
And then I'll like put my suitcase in a corner or something.
Alrighty. So as you're finishing packing, not but like 5-10 minutes after the other guy left, you hear another knock on the door.
Okay. Do I have a peephole in this door? I kind of want to look through it before I open it.
Yeah, sure. Make a perception check.
Okay.
So
Is that another d20?
Yes. So you're gonna roll a d20, and then add the number next to your perception, which I believe is 4 again.
Okay. So I rolled a 12. That'd be 16.
Alrighty, so see there's a little peephole outside there. You look out. At first you don't see anything, which kind of confuses you. But then you look downwards, and you see a little girl dressed in servant's clothes with white hair. And she's just kind of patiently waiting for you to open the door.
White hair. This sounds familiar. Okay. I open the door.
Excuse me, ma'am. You are, sorry, pulling out my stuff. Excuse me, ma'am, you're Riley, correct?
That is correct.
This is complimentary from Alethea Andalere, and she holds up a letter with a Y on it, and she hands it to you.
Okay. I take the letter. Thank you. And may I ask what your name is?
Micah Vane, ma'am.
Micah. Sorry, say that again.
Micah Vane.
Micah Vane. All right. Thank you, miss. Will there be anything else?
That'll be all.
All right.
She doesn't bow and just starts to leave.
Okay. I close the door. I just didn't want to close the door on her.
No one's ever asked her name before. Good job.
Okay. At sundown, dinner will be 1 hour following. Okay. I tuck the letter after I've read it into my pocket, and I think I'm gonna go out and wander.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna go be social. It feels so weird.
No, it's good. Where is there any particular place you would like to wander? This is a relatively large ship, at least on your way in. It's bigger than any ship that you've ever been on before this.
Okay. I'm going to go upwards and try to get on the deck of the ship.
Alrighty. Let me. Just give me one moment.
No worries.
And sorry, give me one sec. Trying to. Alrighty. I'm gonna pop you over here. So you kind of wander around the ship. I'm assuming you can see the new map, right?
Yeah.
Great.
There is a pool on deck that is fanky.
So you wander around the ship as much as you can. You kind of get a bearing of how everything leads out. It's starting to get a little bit darker as you're getting some cloud cover that's starting that begins to block out the sun. So as you're sitting here, there was a lot of people running around, but like as the clouds go darker and the sun goes down, and the sun gets a little bit less down, obviously, the people are leaving the pool area. But what you do see, and I don't have minifigures, so I'm just going to draw them as squares. Sitting on the side, and contrary to you, because as you were walking around, you kind of got a feel of what kind of people are on the ship. It seemed like very well dressed, mostly humans and high elves. Occasionally there was like a dwarf, but really it's just mostly humans and elves. You see two tieflings, red-skinned, horns, and they are currently just lounging and chatting with each other. Again, it's an odd sight since you haven't actually seen any tieflings, but like with your own eyes, in almost probably your entire life.
All right. But I know what tieflings are thanks to education.
Yeah, right? Education. So yes, cool. You see them just casually talking with each other.
Okay, I am going to very casually and not deliberately at all just kind of stroll by and see if I can low-key overhear what they're talking about.
Yeah, so if you're trying to do this low-key, make a stealth check. So,
this is not going to end well.
So you roll a d20 and then add the number next to stealth, which if I'm not mistaken, that should be a negative.
Okay. Okay.
Not terrible.
Not terrible.
So that's a total of
13.
13. Okay. So as you walk by as casually as possible, you start to get at least a hint of that conversation. Dear, I love these cruises. Thank you for taking me. I'm so excited for the next one next week as well. It's so sad that you'll only be in Yale for just one day. Oh, it's quite all right. And then you see that they notice you. They kind of look you away. Oh, excuse me, ma'am. Where did you get that fabulous clothing? The female tiefling looks at you. She's wearing very, very nice clothes. nothing that's familiar to you, but is a little audacious enough that you could maybe assume that it's some kind of high fashion. Um, and she looks at you with pointed horns and bright red eyes and says, "That is amazing. The quality looks just wonderful. Where did you get that?"
Thank you. This is the customary. Oh my god, I can't English. This is the customary travel address of my homeland.
That is amazing.
I'm not sure if you're familiar with it.
Oh, well, we would love to be familiar. We're quite the travelers, aren't we, Varen? Yes, dear. No, please. We're always looking for new places for our business. Here, please sit with us. You see, there's a chair somewhat nearby.
Okay. I pull up the chair and I sit down.
You sit down next to the female tiefling?
Sure. Yes.
Ba, 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 ba.
I don't know which chair she's actually in.
Sure, she'll be in the
left one?
Yeah, she'll be in the left one.
Okay.
Kind of, as you scoot up your chair a little bit awkwardly, you sit down. The chairs aren't built for people with tails.
Crap.
But you figure it out as best as you can.
All right.
So I'm sorry, Dara. This is so rude of us. Of course, we should introduce ourselves. Hello. My name is Charlotte Marsk. This is my husband, Varen Marsk. And he slightly bows his head. And you are, ma'am?
I salute. I do the little head bow thing, and I go, "Really," but you can call me Riley.
Yes, Riley. Where are you from? Did you say?
I'm from an island out very, very far out east. It's called Himdasedin. It's a very well-known dragonborn trading port. So we get a lot of trade coming through, which might contribute to our certain sense of fashion.
Interesting. Varen, have you heard of that? No, I can't say I have. You don't happen to have a proclivity for alcohol. I own a brewery, you see, and we're always looking to find a new place to venture into.
I laugh demurely. Not bad.
If you know any contacts there, I would love to meet with them.
I'm sorry. I thought I heard. That's just being weird.
I think we're good.
Okay. Thank you for the suggestion, Kelsey. I will consider it. I can't say I'm too familiar with the brewery sector of Himdasedin, but I will be sure to keep you in mind.
Wonderful. And the wife looks at you. You don't happen to. How did you get here? Was it a cruise? How long have you been on here? We love cruises, and we just would love to go see new, exciting tropical locales. Is it easy to get to?
Nothing so fancy as a cruise. There are ships that go from Himdasedin to your continent over here with. Well, I'm on my way to Yale right now, but I'm really just passing through. I had to board a trading ship, which, as things go, aren't terrible, but they're nothing compared to it.
Honey, that is such a travesty. Yet you, with this fancy clothing, had to be on a trading ship. Whatever sin did you commit?
No, it really wasn't all that bad. You see, Himdasedin doesn't have too many connections with your continent, so I had to make do with what I could.
Oh, well, darling, you said you're going to be in Yale?
Yes. I will be stopping through Yale for maybe a few weeks or probably a couple months at most.
Well,
but I was wondering, yeah.
Unfortunately, we are always on the move and we're never around. But our son, Caspian, he would love to have you. We're just going to be in there for a few days, just in time for Caspian's 18th birthday. And then the husband looks, no, hun, his birthday was last month, I think. She's like, no, that can't be right. I remember last year, right after we got off the Berkeley cruise, we were celebrating it this month. Yeah, we moved it up so we could celebrate with him. Remember? Uh, really? I suppose you're right. But I thought. Oh, I guess that's fine. Sorry, we're just bickering old people over here. We're sorry. But no, please. I'm sure our son always likes visitors, especially the ladies.
Oh, please.
And she raises her eyebrows and says, "Yes, our son is quite the looker."
I kind of just laugh quietly and look off to the side. I can't possibly accept that kind of hospitality. It's just not proper.
Well, please, the invitation's open if you'd like to come anytime. Our house is your house.
All right. Well, thank you very much. If you ever stop by Himdasedin, just and you need a guide, or you need someone to help you find things, just mention my name to anyone in the oh gosh, I'm blanking.
You're fine.
Anyone in the Dongpo district, and I'm sure they'll help you out.
Thank you. Quite marvelous. We'll be at dinner later, honey.
Well, that would depend on which dinner you're talking about.
They both laughed to themselves. The ballroom, of course.
Oh, that one. Well, I do believe I was given an invitation to it, so I might.
Marvelous. We'll be waiting for you. Please come visit us.
Okay.
And then they kind of give you a little nod, and then they kind of go back to kind of talking and whispering, probably about the conversation that you just had.
I recognize a dismissal when I see one, and I will stand up, try not to knock over my chair, and
Great,
continue
make a
on
dexterity saving throw.
Oh, are you kidding me?
You're the one who mentioned it. So on your saving throws, you should have one that says dexterity. So roll a d20 and then add your dexterity modifier.
Come on.
Good. So that is a 1.
Dear God.
You bow very nicely and very ceremoniously, and as you're walking away, you forgot that your tail's still kind of jammed, stuck in somewhere, and then the chair flips out and then falls into the water and gets floating. They both laugh and giggle at you, and kind of whisper to themselves a little bit louder, and you make your way off, I presume.
Yeah, I look at it, I kind of laugh it off, and I make a dignified exit.
All right.
As dignified as I can.
Sure. Great. So you wandered around kind of the main decks, and you see, again, at this point, the clouds are getting very dark now, and it seems like most everyone is either on their way in or is already left.
Okay, I'm going to stop by my room, and can I take a short rest?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know if that's necessary, but I feel like I need to while away some time.
Yeah. So you head back into your room. You can take a short rest. So usually on a short rest, you can heal your hit points if you lost any with your hit die. Which are d8s, and you add your Constitution modifier to recover any hit points, but it seems like you have no damage so far. Other than that, sometimes you can get spells, but I don't think you get spells on short rests, and any of your other abilities that you have. But I think you're generally good. Is there anything else that you like to do before dinner?
I'm going to snack on the non-rotten fruit.
You may snack. It's very ripe. It's nothing compared to back home. It tastes a little bit funny, but it's good enough.
All right, cool. Is it about time for this cocktail business?
Yes. So it says on there that the cocktails start at sundown, I believe. So when would you like to go on in there?
Give it maybe 20 minutes after sundown.
Alright.
I'm gonna show up fashionably late, but unfortunately without Starbucks.
So
I'm going to slightly rearrange myself so I feel proper enough to go out to a cocktail party.
Do you wear your fancy jewelry?
Um, do I? What does my fancy jewelry look like?
I don't know. It just says jewelry worth 10 gold pieces, so I'm pretty sure are allowed to choose what kind of jewelry it looks like.
Nah, I'm not going to wear it.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little too gaudy. So
A little bit too gaudy.
kind of rest on the bed for a few hours until you start to see the sun coming down. You slowly prepare yourself, freshen yourself up a little bit, and you begin to head to the rear of the ship, where you notice that there's the entrance to the ballroom.
Okay.
So
I walk in.
Great. So it's a very large door. So as you walk in, you see that there is quite a lot of people here already. So you kind of get the feeling either everyone was here just on time, or there was some kind of unspoken thing where you come a little bit early. Regardless, as you look out onto the balcony, you see a very busy ballroom. There is music playing gently and a lot of people dancing, as far as you can tell, quite formally in front of you. You can smell the delicious food kind of coming up to you. Roll a perception check, please.
Okay, that's still a 20, right?
Mm-hmm. And then add whatever your perception is.
You are kidding me. All right, that's an 11.
So you, as you look out, you see a few things of interest. In particular, you notice that there is a group of servants, kind of huddled near a pillar, hovering over something that you can't see right now. Other things that you see that the bar is quite bustling. It's quite loud, actually, like almost shouting. And you kind of try to look for your tables, but you don't see anything in distance. As you're kind of staring out, trying to get a handle of what's going on here, you hear like the sound of. So you hear what sounds like a large buzzing, like almost like there's a giant bug behind you, and roll a dex saving throw again.
Oh. Why does this always happen?
Oh!
Okay. 15!
So you hear this buzzing sound, and like you just duck out of the way. As what passes in front of you is a small humanoid with what looks like dragonfly wings on its back, and it sees that narrowly misses you. It looks down. It has it has red hair. It bows to you and says, I am so sorry, ma'am. I apologize greatly. I am in a rush, but I apologize.
That's quite all right. Well, if he's in a rush, I'll just let him go on then.
He bows very, very deeply one more time, and then you hear this buzzing noise as he flies. This humanoid is about, like, you get a better look at him as he's making his introduction, and you see he's a short humanoid with red hair, kind of dark brown skin. And he seems to be dressed in fancy-ish clothing for a person that's around 1.5, 2 feet tall. And he buzzes off towards the right where the fountain is, or towards Riley's left where the fountain is.
Okay. There's a fountain.
Yes, if you scroll
there's
slightly to the right.
Okay, I got it.
You see the fountain.
All right.
So?
I'm gonna head down the stairs. Do people notice that I'm coming in, or is it like
it seems that they're kind of preoccupied with their own kind of things here. So as far as things are going right now, it doesn't seem like they are paying particular attention to you.
Okay. I'm going to go down and mingle with the crowd, vaguely make my way over in the direction of where all the servants are hovering over something. But just vaguely, not like directly or anything.
Sure. So why don't you make a perception roll if you want to kind of listen in on them? Or do you want to look at them?
Okay. Sure, I'll listen in.
Okay, make a perception roll.
Are you kidding me? Well, 11.
It could be worse. So as you kind of pass by people who are talking and chatting, all very, very fancily dressed. This is kind of stuff that you're a little bit more familiar with. It's what maybe you see in your books of what current Yale culture is. But as you see, all the servants are huddled over, and I'll just mark very quick on the map. So as you kind of are pretending to look out elsewhere, you hear the servants talking. It's like, it's gonna be okay. We're just gonna get you out of here. We'll just put a bandage on it, or we'll stint it maybe, and it'll be fine. And you just hear this. And the other, you hear a male servant. Please, no one's noticed you right now. If we just get you out of here, I'm sure your job will be fine. Now, if you can just don't. Okay.
I come closer because those are signs of obvious distress, and I tap the shoulder of one of the closer servants, and I ask, "I'm sorry if I'm intruding, but is there a problem here?"
No, ma'am. I'm sorry. You're not intruding at all. We were just, really, you don't have to pay us any mind. Please, go about your business. She's looking downwards and not making any eye contact with you while she's doing this. No, ma'am. Sorry,
please,
this isn't your problem. Yeah, please, just don't mind us.
I'm a cleric. What's wrong with your friend?
Make a quick intimidation check.
Intimidation?
Or persuasion. Sure, make a persuasion check rather.
Okay, is that?
You can make either.
Everything is a d20.
Oh,
nat 20.
Nat 20. So at first she was like kind of wary of you, like you were going to come in there and yell at her, but she kind of sees the little bit of aggression and authority in your voice, and she kind of backs off and says, "Everyone, this is a cleric. I'm sorry, a cleric of."
I don't know any better. A cleric of Tiamat.
They all kind of look at you very strangely, but with the amount of authority that you spoke in the previous section, like the previous statement, they're like, okay, I guess we'll let this happen. And you see a woman, a human woman dressed in servant's clothes, with a drink spilled on the side, and you see that she's clutching her leg, and as you're looking, you can see like a slight red stain to her white pants that's kind of slipping through.
That is bad.
And she looks up at you and it's like a little bit of a pleading, but also a little bit of like embarrassed and confused.
I kind of like kneel beside her and I ask, what do I ask? How do I phrase this correctly? Oh my god, English, don't fail me now. I kind of like ask in a, hopefully as gentle a voice as the Dragonborn can muster. Like, is there something wrong? Do you need healing?
Yeah, would you mind, I don't want to ask you this, but would you mind doing it in the back room? If they see me sitting down, I don't know if my job, would you mind if we just do this a little bit out of the way?
That's totally fine. And then I look up at another servant and I kind of like jerk my head and go like, come on, help her out.
They're kind of at this point like very attentive to your authority in the situation. So they try their best to like prop her both up by like both of her arms, and she like winces in pain. But you begin to hobble off onto the side. There's a door on the side there that leads presumably to some kind of kitchen. How
much attention are we attracting right now?
It seemed that you got there pretty fast, as far as when it happened. So there were some people looking at you, especially you since you were very tall, and a white dragon.
That's a new one.
In addition to that. But it seems that they feel like whatever has been dealt with, and they kind of assumed that you were part of the help, so they didn't pay you too much mind.
Okay.
But you, especially as you walk past all like the kitchen staff, they kind of give you a strange look. Not it seems not as much because of your appearance, but more like they're just kind of looking at your clothing and seem very confused. But then you eventually head down some quick stair steps, and they eventually set this woman down in front of a fireplace. You see, as you look around you, this seems to be some kind of boiler room. There seems like to be a lot of either servants that are off duty here, or other a little bit lower class people than you have been dealing with so far. You see some off-duty sailors and stuff like that, but otherwise, it's kind
that
of
guy checking his phone. Sorry.
Is there phones?
I am looking around. And
there shouldn't be
definitely
phones.
Looks like he's checking.
Pretend there's no phone. If there is a phone.
Okay.
Admiring their nails, if you would like.
All right. He's admiring his nails. All good.
And you kind of said it gently. And she just looks up and she says, "Thank you. Please. I don't know. But thank you so much. I don't know how I can repay you." But then she's like, "Ah," and she's kind of set down further, and she's right in front of you.
Okay. I ask. Okay, so would it be all right for by you if I cast a prayer of healing?
Please. So
okay.
As you're doing this, the rest of the people in the room we're looking at you very strangely as you walked in, like almost aggressively so, especially like just. But it seems like the other people who are around you they assured them of your authority in the situation, and they seem to have starting to like at least not say anything in particular. So you'd like to cast Cure Wounds?
Do I have Cure Wounds? Oh yes, I would like to cast Cure Wounds.
So roll a D8 and add your Wisdom modifier, I believe.
D8. Oh, that's an interesting dice. And then my Wiz modifier is 4?
I think it's 2.
2.
It's under the big box.
There it is. Okay,
yeah.
I see it.
So
okay.
7 points of healing.
7.
So you, on one hand, you clutch your holy symbol, and in the other, you kind of look at the wound, and then start speaking in Draconic, I assume, to cast your spells?
Yeah.
Riley, tell us what your holy symbol is.
So it's like a jade tablet. It's about palm size, like phone sized, actually. And there's there's 2 holes bored at either end. One end has like a little tassel hanging off of it. The other end is like, there's a long cord that I can hang around and wear as a necklace if necessary. And there's some Draconic carved on the jade tablet that y'all can't read, but I can. So.
Yes. So you mutter your memorizing incantations, and then a light glow appears from your hand that kind of seeps where the wound is, and then you hear and she kind of winces in pain, but then she just lets out a deep breath outwards. It feels better. Thank you so much.
I'm only doing what is my responsibility.
As you were kind of performing this ritual, in the back of all the people at their center, there is a small gnome with bright pink hair and 2 pigtails. Kind of watching you skeptically this whole time, but eventually pops down from where they were standing, and then starts walking over to you and says, walks over to the woman first, says, Are you doing okay, Bertha? And she's like, "Yeah, I think I'll be fine. I just maybe shouldn't go out there with a stain on it." And the gnome's like, "No, I'm sure we can get you some other things in the back." Hi. The gnome turns to you. My, you're a tall one.
I've stood up to my full height, right?
Yeah.
Yes, I can be tall. Okay.
She's just staring way up at you. She's, "Wow, you're a tall one. What's your name?"
Hello. I am. Oh God, how do I do these introductions? Call me Riley. I'm just passing through.
Hey Riley. My name is Spitzwalket Mechatork. My friends call me Meki. And she puts out a hand. It's a brown glove, and it has a whole bunch of soot or oil or some kind of blackness all over it. But she is having a big smile on her face and is putting her hand out to you.
I kind of look at the hand, and then I realize that, oh yes, this is a thing that heal people do. And I extend a delicate hand downwards.
She grabs
to shake it. Oh,
like
gosh.
as far as she can, when it's like literally up here, and she is vigorous with her handshake. It is firm, and it is a hearty handshake. And she says, "I have not seen too many white dragonborn in the city. Where are you from?"
I'm from rather far away. It's an island out in the East Sea. We do a lot of trade, so I've seen my fair amount of people, but I've decided that it's time for me to go and see a bit of the world for myself.
I don't know if Yale's the best place to do that, but I'm glad you came. We can always use a new fresh face over here. How do you like the ship that you're on?
Oh, the ship. The ship is marvelous.
Oh, impressive, isn't it? Wonderfully built. She laughs to herself.
Am I perceptive enough to notice that maybe there's a...
Do you want to roll an insight check?
I will roll an insight check.
Wonderful. Which I believe
rolling so many checks. Oh, fuck. Alright, that gives me 12.
Yeah, she seems to be pretty obvious about it as far as you can tell. You gather that there is an implication that she either had some kind of hand in building the ship.
Okay, I duly pick up on this little hint and I go, is this ship perhaps a creation you are rather intimate with?
Oh, well, I don't want to brag or anything, but I had a hand in the designing phase, the prototype phase, the building phase, and the execution phase. But I don't want to toot my own horn or anything like that.
I laugh. It's truly a marvelous creation. I was on a trading ship for most of my journey to Yale, and it's absolutely nothing in comparison to this.
You are too kind. You're too kind. It's a little bit stuffy up there, so you're totally welcome to come eat with us down here. The food isn't as good, but I assure you the company's a lot better.
I laugh and I nod and I say, well, I must be returning up there. I didn't really have a lot of time to look around before I noticed. Did you say Bertha was her name?
Yes. Thank you for that. There's not many people up there who would look out for people like us. So thank you. You said you're a cleric, right?
Yes.
I know a lot of clerics of hope. You don't happen to be a cleric of Bahamut, right?
At the name Bahamut, I kind of recoil a little bit. And I go, no, not a cleric of Bahamut. But then I kind of get sidetracked and I go, I'm sorry. Did you say hope just now?
Yeah, cleric of hope. One of the major gods. I mean, I'm not a huge believer myself, but a lot of people find it important to them, and I respect that.
I don't believe I've heard this name before. It's possible that just I come from too far away, but would you mind telling me more about this, Hope?
Yeah, she was a woman in the city. She was a tiefling, and she was one of the people that helped make the city a little bit better for, people who are treated terribly by the system. And she tried her best, and some people were inspired by her. And at first, a lot of people, myself included, thought that the hero worship was a little silly. But it seems that people took it to heart, and they started worshiping her as a god. Which, again, she kind of turns over to some of the other people in the room who are kind of getting a little look at her. I completely respect. They have the ability to heal people, just as even better than the clerics of Dolorah.
At Dolorah, I recoil even further than at the name Bahamut.
Sorry, things must be a little bit different there. Back at Yale, rich, snooty elves and humans. Not all of them are like that, but a lot of them are. They worship Dolora. Does that not agree with you?
I hesitate notably for like a considerable amount of time, and then I go, I'm. I 入乡随俗, and then I kind of just like shrug to myself, and I go, no, that's fine. And then, but really, it's been a pleasure coming down here and meeting you.
I totally didn't mean to keep you. Please, if you are ever in the vicinity, I have a workshop in Poly, and I would love to talk very lots of details about what kind of tech that you have in your home.
I kind of brighten up at the sound of this, and I go, yes, I would love to hear about all the tech that Yale has, and I'm sure the sizable portion that you've invented. And then I kind of bow, and then start making my way back up to the proper ballroom again.
Half-hearted salute, and you start to make your way back up to the party. It seems that on your way back, the chefs don't seem to care or notice about you anymore, and you kind of slip as stealthily as you can back into the fray of things.
Okay.
So you return to the grand ballroom. People still dancing, enjoying themselves.
Okay. I'm gonna. I'm not laughing.
Okay.
I'm gonna sidle over to one of the bars and discreetly check, with detect poison and disease again.
Sure. It seems as you walk over to the bar, whatever commotion that there was, it seemed to die down. And instead, you see behind the bar, you see the tiefling that you met earlier, currently shaking up a drink over here. He says, "Oh, hello, my darling Riley. I'm glad you could join us over here." And so you, would you like anything to drink? And you see that there is the other tiefling woman is sitting over there. "Oh, my husband makes the most wonderful Thea. You would love it."
The most wonderful Thea?
Yes, it's a marvelous drink.
Okay. Well, I can't refuse that kind of offer, so I kind of make myself a little space on the bar, and like, I don't know if it's a sitting bar or a standing bar, but
there's a standing area and a sitting area if you would like. Either way, which one?
Okay, I will prefer to stand, thank you.
Great.
I think I am tall enough for this.
So you stand, and then she's kind of sitting at the bar stool next to you. You see the husband grabs liquids of various containers, and then eventually puts in front of you a drink that's light blue on the top, and then slowly darkens to like a black or a dark blue on the bottom, and he slides it your way.
Okay.
And would you like to detect poison and disease?
I would. How surreptitiously can I do this, though?
So
I was intending to do it like the moment I came to the bar, preferably before I got hailed by anyone. But I don't know if I had time to do that.
Let me see the details on detect poison and disease.
I think it's instantaneous.
It is pretty much instantaneous, and it lasts for up to 1 minute. Oh, it's within 30 feet of you. Okay, sure. Yeah. Let's say that as you're walking up, you do have to like grab your thing, do some semantic components with your hand, so in that direction, and you have to like mutter your magical words on at some kind of audible level. But you kind of did that before, and then you were right after you finished the incantation, you were caught by the Marsks. So as you're done, you at least within a 30-foot radius of you, all the wine doesn't seem to be poisoned, or you don't feel it to be poisoned, and neither the food either.
Okay. Then I accept the Thea, and I take a sip.
It's very weak in comparison to what you're used to, but you just kind of assume that that's how these foreigners like it.
Excellent.
Isn't it just
more than happy.
Marvelous, darling? Marvelous.
It does have a truly unique flavor. May I ask what you put in it? Or would that be giving away the secrets of the trade?
It's only a few people know. It's a secret, just like Thea. And she kind of leans
Okay.
back in her chair. She giggles at her own joke. Um, and the husband turns to you and says, "Well, I'm so glad that you made it over here. There was a bartender over here. He had no idea what he was doing. He said it was his first day on the job. But
Well, I am infinitely indebted to your expertise in these matters.
of course, we had to take over. I can't see liquor being poured poorly."
I turn back to, oh my god, what's her name? Lady Marsk?
You can say Lady Marsk.
I'm just gonna call her Lady Marsk.
You may call her Lady Marsk.
I'm going to go, oh, Lady Marsk, I heard you mention Thea, and I couldn't help but notice that was very similar to the name on my invitation. May I ask who this, Thea is?
Thea. How have you not heard of Thea, darling? You're at this party. Everyone here has heard of Thea. Letheon Delire maybe rings a better bell?
Oh, yes. I kind of laugh and I'm like, yes, I of course I've heard about Thea and I've read so much about her, but you know, the you can't believe everything you read in books.
Of course. Well, you can't even believe the things that you hear from her in person. And both the husband and the wife laugh at her joke. She looks at you. Well, Thea isn't here tonight, unfortunately. Well, I mean, Thea could be here tonight. She could be anyone in this room. She could be that bartender over there. She could be the servant to the left. She could be me. She could even be you. She gives you like a very skeptical look. And then smiles.
I just kind of laugh it off. And then, okay.
Go ahead.
No, I wasn't going to say anything.
She says, yeah, she's quite the mystery, unfortunately. But that's makes it so much more fun to get to know her, right?
I kind of smile and nod and go, indeed.
Now, darling, don't let us hold you up. I'm sure you have plenty of business to get to, people to collude with. So, if you need to go, please feel free.
I just kind of like, oh please, I'm just a student here. I don't know that many people, but I was wondering if
you say
a student, yes.
A student of what, if I may ask?
I study ancient texts and literature back in the church. And I've come to Yale because I've heard that there is a large underground community that speaks almost exclusively Undercommon. And I thought I would come here and just, brush up on my Undercommon and make sure.
As you're talking, like her face just kind of goes blank and she just kind of just starts staring in the opposite direction. Completely have lost interest in what you're saying.
I go on for at least 30 seconds like this, talking about doing literary translations and things just to make sure she is thoroughly bored. And then
she snaps back to it. Oh no, darling, it's marvelous, marvelous. It's wonderful. My son Caspian is always learning Undercommon with Aletheon Delire. I'm sure he would love to talk to you about that or something. I think he's very interested in it, right? And the husband looks over and says, yeah, we paid for him to go learn it. I assume that he'd be interested in it. And she's like, of course. Yeah.
And then I kind of pick up on that and go like, did you say your son was studying Undercommon with Aletheon Delire?
Yes, Aletheon Delire is a personal friend of ours.
Oh.
And my son, she is his mentor and his teacher. And I dare say that everything that she is good for, that she has passed on to him, I would believe.
Okay. I kind of nod at this and I go, well, I may not know many people here, but I must be off. I thought I would use this opportunity and maybe get to meet a few more people before I arrive at Yale.
Oh, please. And she kind of tips her drink at you and goes again to whispering very loudly with her husband.
Okay, I kind of smile and nod to myself and I put the drink down and I continue to mosey around the ballroom. I avoid the dance floor because that will just end badly if I get close to it.
Alrighty.
Yeah. I might pick up some food from the bar and like snack a little bit.
Okay, there's
nothing that looks too outlandish to me.
Yeah, it takes a second for you to kind of like peruse all the food and stuff like that. A lot of the cooked food is unfamiliar to you, but you find eventually just some like small sliced fruit, and you pick it up with a little toothpick and daintily put it past your gaping jaws and sharp teeth.
All right. I just kind of like mosey from one corner to the other. I mostly want to be seen, not necessarily be talked to. But
sure. So as you're walking around,
okay.
Sure. No, go. Guess what you're gonna say.
Oh, I was just gonna like roll a perception or insight to see if there's anything else going on.
Yeah, roll perception.
Okay. That's still a d20, right?
Mm-hmm.
I can do
D20.
this. Perception.
I can't see it. It's blocked for me.
A 19.
Ooh, plus.
I rolled a 19 plus 4, so it's 23.
Ah, really good. So you're kind of getting the mood that everyone's really jolly and maybe a little like the drinks have been flowing for a little while for some of these people. Everything seems relatively happy. Servants are passing you and everything. As you are kind of rocking around, you see that the sprite waiting by the fountain, at this point has been waiting quite a while, or at least has been standing there for quite a while. He looks grumpy and impatient, and you just see him buzzing, literally like in circles, essentially, just kind of buzzing back and forth.
Okay. I will. Did he say he was going to wait for me at the fountain? I did not realize that. Okay. I head over and I kind of look up at him, like with a half smile on my face. That's like obviously an invitation to come down and talk if he wishes, but I'm mostly just being amused at his antics.
He slightly lowers his stressed out humming, and then you hear like a as he like slows down to your level, and he's like, "I'm sorry. You were the madam that I bumped into earlier. I apologize. We should have introduced ourselves. That is only proper. My name is Malvolian Evnistar Forward, and the 9th Baron of the Six Moons, and personal assistant to Phylon Miliatal. And you are?
I do like given his introduction, I do like a formal salute, and I go, "A pleasure to meet you, Baron Miliatal." I'm not sure if I heard that correctly.
He laughs. No. Sorry, I'm the personal assistant to Phylon Miliatal.
Oh, okay.
No, my name Malvolian. You may call me if you wish, Miss. Of course.
Malvolian. Okay, I kind of nod and I repeat Malvolian just to make sure I've got the pronunciation correct. And me, I'm just a passing student. Call me Riley. It's easier for everyone if we do that.
He lets out his hand for you to shake.
And then I don't hesitate nearly as long this time, but I do hold out a hand, and I am obviously not too into the handshake, but I shake his hand.
Roll a charisma saving throw.
Oh God, what? What did I do this time?
Okay. You shake hands.
Nat 20.
Okay, great. So you shake hands with him. Sorry, give me one moment. Can you just give me a quick about how would you describe Riley's emotional state at the moment?
I wouldn't say she's like necessarily enjoying herself, but she's very confident and she knows what she's doing and she's very comfortable with this kind of social situation. She knows what she's trying to do and is like satisfied as so far as like how she's achieving it.
Okay, that's good enough for now. So he finishes shaking your hand and he's like, you seem to be having a much better time than me. I apologize. I don't mean to sour your mood or anything like that, ma'am.
Oh no, and then I'm very interested, and I go, I'm sorry. What has something happened?
Sorry, you don't mind clockwork, do you?
Clockwork.
I'll take that as a no. He has a really tiny bag, like to you it's about like a finger or so, and he reaches into it with his tiny hand and he pulls out a very large like pocket watch essentially that is about as like big as him, and he holds it with two hands in front of him, and he stares at it and he sighs to himself. Sorry, I was just waiting for the Duke of J. He's supposed to be here to meet me to talk over some things, but apparently he's not showing up. I'm sorry, are you not familiar with clockwork? You seem to have dressed in foreign garb. Are you not from here?
No. I kind of like laugh. Like, you could say I'm not from around. Sorry. Do tell me more about this clockwork, though. I don't believe we have it where I'm from.
It's a lot of fancy mechanisms are made by, used to be made by, I suppose, our old high tinker, Mechatork. She created a lot of fancy devices, but he kind of looks back and he stuffs the clock back, or the pocket watch back into his bag. A lot of people here get a little bit nervous around it. In the past 10 years or so, it's come up in a lot of cases when there's bombs or explosions. So the magic users try to find alternate measures whenever possible, if I can put it politely. Unfortunately, some of us don't have magical powers to scry into the moon or whatever methods that they use for telling the time. So this is the simplest one I have. But I'm sorry, those are just passing superstitions of us.
I'm sorry, did you say the old high tinker was named Mechator?
Yes, Spitzwalk and Mechatork.
My eyebrows jump at this. Just both my eyebrows just steadily rise.
Let me... Okay, are you familiar with the name before?
I could have sworn I just met someone by the name of Spitzwalk and Mechator, but I could be mistaken or misled.
He kind of buzzes backward in surprise. Oh, I didn't know Meki was aboard right now. I guess it makes sense why she isn't out here. She rather is disagreeable to these kind of social events. Did she seem well, I guess?
She seemed alright.
She
certainly seemed like she was finding her own entertainment elsewhere.
I'm glad to hear that. She used to be on the council with Ren, and I had a few interactions with her. The whole thing didn't end well. But, well, I'm glad she's finding a place, maybe. I wonder where she was. We're all heading back to Yale. Sorry, where were you heading from? You said you were a student.
Yes, well, my original port of home is very far away. I've been on the seas for a few months now. But I'm hoping that once I get to Yale, I will be back on good solid land and can do some traveling.
Well, I don't particularly mind the sea, but I've heard that sentiment from Ren quite a lot. But I hope you find Yale to be quite the place. It's very exciting, if I do say so the least, but it certainly never gets old. As he's finishing this thought, you hear like a glass, like a knife against glass, as you hear over the mic. Everyone, dinner will be starting in 10 minutes, so please, slowly and casually mosey on over to your seats.
Okay.
And you both hear that, and he kind of buzzes down where he's like, well, I suppose that the Duke isn't coming. Well, I'll just have to meet him some other time. I apologize, but I really must be going.
Oh, please, do not worry about it.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Riley.
And a true pleasure. And I assume we just kind of part ways in the ocean of people.
Yeah, he buzzes. Roll a perception check.
Okay. 9.
9. Okay.
Overwhelming.
So there's a lot of people around you, and it takes you a little bit longer to find your table. You flip up the thing and kind of like look around a little bit, and and try to find where your table is. But you kind of eventually figure out some kind of order to it, and find one, you kind of passed it, so you're going to have to double back a little bit. But as you're doubling back, and you're walking towards the bottom right, which is, I will show you.
Okay.
In that direction.
Is that a tiefling I spot?
There's 2 tieflings.
2 tieflings, okay.
But no, as you start walking back from where you are over here, as you're kind of crossing the now emptying dance floor.
Oh, why would I ever cross the dance floor? Okay.
Oh, you can go around the dance floor if you like.
I would love to go around the dance floor.
Would you like to go?
I would like to avoid the dance floor at all costs.
Would you like to go above it or below it that way?
I will go above it.
Okay. So you head down and start walking over here. In front of you, so as you approach your table, you see a high elf with graying hair and a very, even to you, an old-fashioned suit. And there's another high elf, very tall woman, in a black dress with a shawl, and she has long jet black hair, and she seems to be boxed between him and the wall. As you kind of keep getting closer, try not to make too much of a fuss, you hear the female high elf speaking calmly. Please, Duke Solinar, you've had a little bit too much to drink. If you just let me call a servant to escort to your room. And she's interrupted. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going back to bed unless you're in it.
Okay.
The female high elf sighs, kind of scans the room and then locks eyes with you. Then behind your ear, you hear just a slight whisper of what seems to be her voice saying, "Play along." And she turns to you and says, "Hello, Ambassador. I apologize for my tardiness. I was just saying goodnight to the Duke of J.E." And the Duke kind of is surprised and kind of looks at you confusingly and back at her. She walks towards you and then holds out her arm.
I hold out my arm so that she can take it. How tall am I compared to this Duke of J.E.?
To the Duke of J.E., you have at least 5 inches on him. To this woman...
Oh, excellent.
She is very tall, and she has high heels on. You still have another inch or 2 on her, or 2 or 3 inches on her, but she's very tall.
Okay. And then I kind of just look at the Duke of J.E. and I go, the Duke of J.E., I believe I heard someone who was waiting on an appointment with you earlier.
Sorry. Give me one moment. Do you take her arm, or do you...
I do take her arm.
Okay, great. So with you locked in her arm, he hears you make that comment, doesn't even acknowledge you, not treating you like you exist right now. He just kind of stares at her, and he's like, "What? Why are you pretending you're too good for me? You know everyone whispers about you marrying that peasant harlot. At least Vladis came and had the decency to try to hide his blood mixing, not flaunt it all over the place." As you grab her arm, you begin to feel a slight chill. You're a white dragonborn, so you're resilient against just the cold and frost. But it's not just cold you feel like you're getting frostburn in your arm. You take 3 damage.
I take 3 damage.
Yeah, so as you're holding on, would you like to continue holding on to her arm?
If I continue holding onto her arm, will I continue taking damage? Wow, this is not pretty. I will continue holding onto her arm.
So she has started to walk away with you.
She offered her arm to me, right?
Yes, she offered her arm to you. She was starting to walk away, but then she just stops. She takes a really deep breath, and she clutches. As you look down, you see that there's a heart-shaped locket around her neck, and she clutches it very tightly by the strain, and her already pretty white knuckles gets even whiter. And she says, "Ambassador, I believe you are walking me over to get a drink, correct?"
I kind of just look at her and I go, "Why, yes. I'm sorry. Excuse me. I had other business I was trying to attend to, but that's fine." And then I allow her to like steer me over to the bar, I guess.
Yeah, she's definitely the one doing the guiding in the situation. As she walks over to the bar, like the high elf like picks another and like starts to sway a little bit, and you see she grabs her she grabs the heart locket around her neck one time, and she lets go of it.
Okay.
And then you walk eventually to the bar, which isn't too far from here. People are starting to settle into their tables now, and she's like, "Thank you for that. Please don't let me keep you all night." And she removes her arm from you and starts to walk off.
Okay. I kind of just like nod in acknowledgement, and then I walk towards my table because I am kind of late.
In a slight awkwardness, you guys are both walking in the same direction.
Oh God.
She walks off first, and then she sees you following her. Kind of acts confused for a second, is about to say something, but she sees you're heading towards the table, and she takes a deep sigh, and then she kind of slows down and she gestures out an arm to where the table is. Was there any particular place that you would like to sit on this table?
Oh, I kind of like affect surprise. Like I just pretended not to notice that we were going in the same direction at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I go, we're at the bottom right?
Yeah.
I'm assuming all these chairs are empty,
yeah.
Except for the ones with people in them.
Yeah, and you can move your character, I believe.
Cool. Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna go ahead and wait. Do I know these two tieflings? Are they the Marsks?
Yeah, they are the Marsks.
They are the Marsks. I'm going to sit here.
Alrighty.
Did that work?
Yep, that works for me.
Oh. Okay.
She.
Oh God, chairs.
She looks at you, looks at the Mars, looks back at you, looks at the Mars again, and then takes the seat opposite of the Marks. And sit next to you. And there's a slight ding. It says, "Dinner will be served." And there's a lot of servants that come out with silver platters, and they gently set them in front of you. It seems to be some nice salad and soup appetizer that they set down in front of you.
Okay.
So as they set down the food in front of you, the woman next to you turns to you and says, "So you've been to Yale before, correct?"
No, I haven't actually. This is my first time.
Really?
I'm not from around.
She kind of leans back in her chair a little bit. She doesn't seem to be touching the food in particular. Sure. So, what makes you make this journey?
The place where I'm from doesn't have many native speakers of Undercommon, but I have heard that Yale does.
She talks. She says, "Oh, well then." She switches to Undercommon. Essentially flawless Undercommon, better than your teachers that you would think. She says to you, "Well, I find it simply delightful that our humble culture draws such inquisitive academics from far-off locales."
I kind of laugh embarrassedly. I wouldn't comment, and then I also switched to Undercommon. I'm obviously going to be speaking a lot slower and probably with a bit of an accent, but in Undercommon I say, well, I wouldn't consider myself an academic by any means. I'm just a little bit more curious than the rest of my fellow students, I suppose.
Well, if you understood that sentence I just said and are understanding me now and you're able to speak it, I'd say that your Undercommon is actually quite good already.
I wouldn't say that I'm a fluent speaker by any means, but
No, it's
I
really impressive, actually.
I kind of just laugh off. I just obviously my response to everything is just embarrassed laughing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um, she kind of looks at you and she grabs her the locket around her neck again. Um,
Okay.
Yvonne, can you please describe to me Riley's surface thoughts right now?
Riley surface thoughts.
Yes.
I don't know who this high elf lady is. I am going to treat her as pretty high nobility until I have been proven wrong, but I am very suspicious of this person because not only can she speak fluent undercommon, but she also made me take 3 damage.
Okay. Anything in particular when she was interviewing about Undercommon?
Um I'm thinking about books and archaic texts.
Okay. Um, she lets go of the holy symbol. Or, she doesn't have a holy symbol. You have a holy symbol around your neck. She lets go of the heart locket around her neck.
It's basically a holy symbol. Okay.
Uh, she says, "Well, I'm glad Yale can be of use to you."
um may I ask, what is your title?
My name is Lady Kalandra. You may address me as such.
At Lady Calandra, I go, let's see. I kind of like shift back in my seat a little bit and then give her a deeper salute. And I go, Lady Calandra, it is truly an honor.
She gives you just a slight head nod of appreciation. So you've heard my name before?
I have, yes. There aren't many names that drift all the way over the oceans to us, but
Really?
I believe yours is one of them.
Interesting. What are the others?
Well, I've heard this name. If I hadn't heard this name before, I would have heard it several times over this evening, anyways. But I do believe there's another Alicia Andalire who's very well known around Yale.
Yes, you can say she's well known over in Yale.
Can I roll an insight to see
Sure,
what
you
tone
may
she said
roll
that in?
an insight.
Okay. 16 plus 420.
You are very perceptive, and you know how these kind of people do these kind of things. Despite that, Lady Calandra is very expressionless and emotionless with her talking, and doesn't seem to be expressing any kind of intention or emotion. And she's really hard to read. You got nothing out of her.
Oh, damn. Okay. I kind of just look at her and I go, "Are you familiar with Lady Andalire? Is that Thea's title?"
She's no, you say that. That's fine as far as you know.
Okay.
She kind of laughs. Well, she's not royalty by or any kind of title by any means. She gave that up. But no, yes, I'm quite familiar with Thea. My wife, she worked with her friend, Thea's friend, quite closely. So
Okay.
we've met each other quite a few times. We don't always see eye to eye, but I respect her greatly.
Okay.
As you are kind of awkwarding through this conversation, they take your salad and soup away and then placed out a second course, which seems to be a light fish. And they place them both in front of you.
Okay. Does Lady Calandra touch her fish at all?
She didn't touch any of the salad, and she doesn't seem to be touching the fish either.
Okay. I kind of look at the food and I look back at her and I ask, is the food not to your taste? I also have not touched any of the food.
Alrighty. She says, well, it seems that you're quite similar. This isn't my food in particular. I'm sure it's fine for those who have the tongue for it, but it's not up to my standards.
Very high standards then.
As in everything.
You mentioned earlier that Alethea Delira gave up a title. I'm not entirely clear as to who this Alethea Delira person is because she extended an invitation, but I've asked around and she doesn't seem to be here tonight. And her name seems to be on everything.
Extended an invitation to you?
Yes.
To this table?
Yes. And I kind of just tilt my head questioningly.
Interesting. Alethea Delira has a very complicated past. If you want to, I'm sure you can ask her or look her up in a book somewhere. I'm not here to teach you history.
I can ask her.
If you can find the time to meet with her. She's a very busy woman.
Ah, all right. Well, I have to say I'm not used to your nobility and celebrities being so accessible, but I will keep that in mind.
They're accessible for the
Is
right
there
people.
anyone else at this table, dear God? Okay.
Nope, just you, her, and the Mars who are kind of looking at you occasionally, giggling and laughing, and Lady Calandra's intent to ignore them as at all possible.
All right. How many courses are there in this meal?
Do you say that out loud?
No, I
Okay.
don't. I kind of wonder what it is silently.
Why don't you roll a history check, and you can see if you remember what fancy meals have courses.
I don't have proficiency in history, but okay. I roll a 2.
Somewhere between as many as you had and a lot more.
Great. That is so informative. Thank you, history teacher back in Hindaseden.
She kind of stares at you and says, "So, you're from a place back east, right? Do they have many Dragonborn there?"
I kind of laugh and I go far east, far east. I'm actually from the island city-state of Hindaseden, which is an exclusively Dragonborn city. And then I hastily correct myself. Of course, we get a lot of international trade, so there are many elves and humans and tieflings and dwarves and people of all races and sizes and colors passing through.
So it's welcome to High Elves and what else?
Oh, it's definitely open to everyone who wants to come.
Interesting. One sec. Me thinking, not her. Are there any dragons there?
Dragons? And I kind of just raise my eyebrows and well, perhaps in the northern continent that we're closest to there are, but not many dragons pass through the city, I have to say. The last time we heard of one was, I'd say at least half a century ago.
Interesting.
And then I kind of tilt my head and do you guys have a lot of dragons here? Because I have to say, I've been on this ship, I've wandered through this ship for the entire afternoon, and I don't think I've seen another dragonborn.
Well, we have one dragon. He's a little bit of a drunkard and not quite trustworthy, but as far as dragonborn go, there are quite a few in the city, but of course with our history, it's not always the most friendly place to them in the past, so I understand why they would not want to be there.
And I look at her and I well, what about in the neighboring cities? If I'm not mistaken, there's another Dragonborn city not too far from Yale, am I correct?
She looks at you inquisitively.
And I kind of go how do you pronounce it? Vrinahiakrin?
I wrote it in my notes so I could tell you, but then I lost it. So now I'm sad. I got it right here.
Okay. Vrinahiakrin? I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Una Zal then?
No. I'm thinking the other one. Una Zalvin, I know, has been destroyed for several thousand years.
Okay.
I know that one.
Then the other one is Brinahi Onkrin. Let's say.
Brinahi Akrin.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Brinahi Akrin.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of mentioned, like, we haven't heard from our Dragonborn brethren in that city for quite a while.
She looks over.
I thought I'd swing by and take a look.
She looks over at the Mars and then switches to Draconic.
What?
Again,
okay.
As far as you can tell, this is flawless Draconic. You have not heard anything out of like a non-Dragonborn that is as good sounding as this. She turns to you and says, I'm sorry to tell you this. One of my ancestors fought in the battle, but that city was destroyed long ago.
I take like at least a good 5 seconds to like sit back, process the fact that one, she's speaking Draconic, and two, that like I also switched to Draconic, and I just kind of I'm sorry. What did you say? Destroyed?
Completely destroyed. The drow, or dark elves, I suppose.
The drow?
Yes, they're elves that have been exterminated. They completely leveled the city.
Well, and the drow live underneath Yale, am I correct?
Not for many years. Our friend Thea saw it to that. They are all gone. I'm sorry, there's no one to take out your anger on.
I wasn't thinking about anger, but this Alethea again, Alethea on the Lyra, she took care of them.
She was part of the heroes that saved the city. In that, she took out a priestess. Probably had a hand in that massacre of some sort, maybe. And in doing that, they killed off all the drow that are beneath the labyrinth. There aren't any left down there.
How long ago was this?
Fia's exploits? 100 years ago.
And the drow? What they did to Brinahiakun?
700 years ago.
700.
It's quite some time. I suppose not much news travels fast. I guess I should be honored that my name came across. I'm sorry that you had to have me tell you this way. You hear a nice like ting 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 again.
This is the fucking third course.
The gentleman comes up to the mic and says, hello. Glad to see you all here enjoying yourselves. Now, for our last course, dessert, we have a gift for you. Well, actually, let me restate that. You have a gift for us. Now, if you please just put all your valuables in the bags over here, we won't have to deal with any mess, shall we? As you look around you, you see the servants pull out guns and aim them at you.
Okay. Do I see any servants that I recognize from earlier?
Not any around you, and as far as you can see, there are servants surrounding you that currently have guns pointed at a lot of the different people who are around here. And with that, we will take a break.
Okay.
Everyone can pop in their videos. Yvonne,
good job,
good
Yvonne.
so far.
I have no idea what's going on.
It's fabulous. It's great. Also, Kelsey, do you want a closer look at that image thing of Angry Rowan? All right, let me see if I can get this decently, because I don't currently have a scanner on me, so yeah.
Now it's my time to go back and read the chat.
Yep.
Anyways, hi folks.
This is like angry shifted Rowan.
Yep. That looks about right.
Yep.
Oh. Thanks for the advice. I see it now.
Oh, it's okay. You found out her name.
Yay.
All right. So, really awkward conversations or just
Yeah.
shot by people. Which one does your character hate more?
What do you mean, which one does my character hate more?
Because that seems to be what the story's going between.
Marsker Calandra.
Conversations.
Oh. I have nothing against the Marsks. I mean, I get the feeling that they're laughing at me, but I don't have any... Oh my god, my voice is going. I don't have any grounds to prove that with, but...
Well, I absolutely adore them because I'm seeing them as Frank and Sadie Doyle.
Wait, who?
Who?
They're these characters from the Thrilling Adventure Hour. They're married mediums, Frank and Sadie Doyle. They basically, they're like supernatural, like detective. Like they solve supernatural crime against their will because really all they want to do is stay home and drink.
That sounds pretty great.
And I don't know. I can imagine a lot of conversations.
I'm actually imagining. So you guys saw? Have you guys ever seen Fairly Odd Parents? And then like that rich asshole kid who also had like the purple fairy.
Mm-hmm.
His parents. I'm imagining his parents and that little kid being Caspian.
But no,
So-
I can just hear them. Darling, you look particularly wealthy this morning.
And yeah, it's pronounced Bernahi Akron. So
Oh, Brenahi Akron. Okay.
Sorry.
no, it's okay.
The date is the 14th. It is the day that Morgan was running
Morgan
around
gets-
doing things, and the day before Rowan contacts Colin.
And how far away is the...
2 days.
It's 2 days out?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So wait, Calandra gets back to what?
Well, we already know she's
Right,
teleport.
right. Then why the fuck does she take a ship?
It's probably not.
Fashion.
It's probably not for the.
Fashionable.
It's for the,
Not for
talking.
food, clearly.
Probably for the law enforcing things.
So what do you think, Anne? Hi.
Hi. Also, I really approve of your name on the thing. It's from Skin Horse, right?
Hmm?
Like you
Trying to be? I don't know.
Yvonne, Kat wants to know if you're having fun.
If, like,
I
constantly confused as to what I'm supposed to be doing, but also, like, very intently involved in this story, yeah, sure.
It seems like you're getting inside Riley's head.
I'm actually having a very hard time getting inside Riley's head because she does not think the way I do.
I mean,
But-
yeah, that's sort of hard.
Yeah, it's interesting because I understand some of her motives. I don't understand all of them.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, Noah. When were you saying how do you make me sad for Caspian? When was that?
His parents being assholes that forgot his birthday.
yeah.
See, again, my theory for this is that they're just wasted all the time.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised.
And not like falling over wasted. Just like casually like too tipsy to really pay attention to anything.
Except it's sad because it's their son's birthday.
He seems fine with it. They're out of town. He gets the whole house to himself.
Yeah.
Oh, but Bear wants you to join team. We don't need to kill Caspian.
Oh, no. Morgan's at least on the side of we need to severely beat him up.
Morgan hasn't met him.
No, but she doesn't like the type of person that
Does
is
Morgan know
suspicious.
anything about him?
She's heard him on the radio and thinks he's a pretentious womanizing asshole.
There you go. Okay.
I think Rowan would believe that he deserves a thorough scolding.
Thanks, Mom. Here's how you spell
Yeah.
Mechatork's name.
Spitzwalken. I thought it was
Spitzwalken.
Spitzwalken. Like spitting and walking.
Well, Baronet, correct me if I'm wrong. Spitzen is a form of walking the verb walking in German, I think.
Spazieren, I think is what you're thinking about.
No, there's a couple. I don't know. My brain's also just not remembering German, so.
By the way, in my list of like guesses about like what's going on in the campaign, I wrote at the end of it, I bet we're going to meet a lot of people in Riley's session because Liz won't be able to resist introducing them when Riley won't know who they are.
Also,
Yeah.
Riley is like trying to gather as much information as possible right now.
Oh, you're doing an amazing job.
Yes, much
feel like
better
I
than Morgan did.
You've gotten so many names.
Yeah, I feel like I should have been taking notes. Like,
Sometimes helpful.
This is
Liz is also recording this, so like
Alright.
you will be able to get notes later if you haven't gotten them.
Yeah,
Alright.
I guess I had basically all of 3 important names maybe in my session.
okay.
I mean,
Well, I think just by virtue of being on a high-class cruise ship,
Yeah.
I'm rubbing shoulders with a lot of this crowd.
Yeah.
please,
I'm kind of,
Kelsey, please design a Thea cocktail. Please design a cocktail for all of our characters.
Okay, I can
Coke
try.
is going to be completely non-alcoholic.
The
It's gonna be a
what?
mocktail.
Yeah.
I can do that for
Cocktail
some
version.
characters. But alcohol.
But alcohol. Yeah. Quick question: how do spells work? Is there like a limited number I can cast?
You can cast the amount of spell slots that you have. So if you look, do you have a page with all your magic spell lists?
Mm-hmm.
You can see there that you'll have spell level 1 and you should have a 4 next to it, and a spell level 2 and you should have
Yeah.
a 2 next to it. So you can cast 4 of the level 1 spells and 2 of the level 2 spells. But
Cooking monsters.
no. But the exception is your detect poison diseases, comprehend languages, heat metal, and find steed are spells that you know. Wait, no, let's still use spell slots. No, okay, never mind. You're right.
They still use. I
You
think
don't
they still
have to
use
prepare
spell
them.
slots,
Yeah, you
but
don't
you
have to
don't have to prepare them.
So yeah, you should mark
Okay,
up
so
1 detect poison and disease because I believed you took a. No wait, 2. Yeah, 2.
She took a short rest.
Yes.
I took a rest.
So
Short rest.
Short rest.
Long
what is
rests
that?
are.
Yeah, long rests are like nights, but like, how much does a short rest give me?
Not free for you, nothing. For other classes, something.
Oh,
But
okay.
For warlocks, something.
And I think wizards
Okay.
and a certain kind of druid can recover spell slots during a short rest.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm not in a city right now, so I can't use any of those.
Oh, wait, you're a
depends.
city cleric?
I'm a city cleric.
Oh, you are? Okay.
I am.
I did not
Makes
realize
things interesting. I'm not in a city right now, though, so I can't use stuff like Channel Divinity.
that. So, how is it that Tiamat ends up with a city domain? Well,
Dragons are very civilized.
Yep.
I don't know.
Himda Seddon is basically the equivalent of Yale NUS.
Oh, okay.
It's basically Singapore. It's a tiny island city-state that stands kind of at like the gateway of trade through that area. So,
And Tiamat's sort of the main god there?
yeah, it's like 70% on its way to a monotheistic worship of Tiamat. But like, there are gods of there are other gods in the pantheon. It's just like Tiamat's the primary god.
And
Goddess.
probably, and also probably not Dolarar or Bahamut.
Dolaran and Bahamut exist in the pantheon. They are not perceived that well.
I mean, I
like
assume
Bahamut, it
certain.
sounded like it's sort of the sketch type one, or
Yeah, Bahamut is seen as well. Okay.
Betrayer.
wait, one
Kind
sec.
of.
Yeah.
Before you go on, Evan, to answer Sophia's question, Kalandra knows that Thea didn't do everything. She just respects Thea a lot.
Aw, that's nice. I have so many friends, guys.
Friends
some of them are really assholes.
everywhere.
Thea got name dropped so many times.
Mhm.
Yeah, she has gotten a name drop.
I'll be right
I
back.
feel like she's the one who's gonna like take everyone out of jail and put them into a Suicide Squad thing.
Oh boy.
Because I feel like that's what's gonna happen to
Have
us.
fun
That's Suicide
convincing
Squad.
Riley to join up with that.
Yeah. And Rowan.
Well, at
Well,
that point,
I
it might be a
suppose
matter of
like-
coercion and force.
Yeah. I think Rowan would be cool with like helping enforce the law, but be like, well, you don't need to like put a bomb around my neck to make me do it. I was gonna do it anyway, dang it.
Yeah.
Literally, I'm just gonna
I mean, like, it doesn't necessarily have to be the bomb around your neck, Suicide Squad style, but more like,
I'm guessing.
like for someone like Rowan or something, it's targeting everyone you care about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, no, so
Or like,
in order to effectively get all of us to run a mission, the more good aligned characters, you would have to capture them morally. And then it would be actually the neutral characters who would need some kind of coercion.
Yeah.
However,
and also for
if
someone's
the
good,
cause is not good, then yeah, there will need coercion more for the.
I think for some of the other good characters, you could also provide motivation. Like for Rowan, you could offer to help find Cass or something.
Yeah. Basically, I think Rowan would respond a lot better to a positive "I will help you with a thing" than
Morgan
I
is
will hurt
more
someone.
the to be proud by Suicide Squad methods.
What?
Morgan
worry.
basically needs to have a stake in it.
Do not worry.
That,
You
like, she
all
has
will
very
be
few things.
properly motivated.
And
Believe
Morgan has
me.
very few things that like she actually cares about anymore.
But we'll do things for money.
More or less.
You will be motivated.
Or if there's
Don't worry.
like danger of her,
All right.
like, you know, dying.
Back to business.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So.
All right. Back to business.
All right. Muting the mic.
Excited for more awkward social encounters.
Probably
Well,
less
no,
of those
there's
from
now going to
on.
be a takeover
Goodbye,
of
folks.
the ship.
Bye bye.
Okay.
All right.
This is actually the largest scale mugging I have ever imagined.
So as you're sitting down, or like you sit down and notice this. At first, there's a lot of murmur in the crowd that's just very confusing. It's like, is this part of the performance? Seems like weird modern art that we don't understand.
Modern art.
As you kind of maybe similar thoughts run through your head, you feel like the cold steel of a gun on your back, and things are starting to get a little bit louder. Calandra next to you does not seem particularly phased at all, as far as you can tell.
Does she also have a gun to her back?
Yes, she does.
Okay.
Very close. And as all the servants are putting gray masks tucked into their shirts, and they're putting them around their faces. Gray,
okay.
mask ascots kind of things.
Okay.
Handkerchief? Handkerchief, that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, like ski mask.
So there's a smiling person dressed in a sailor uniform up at the front of the stage. And he says, please, everyone, we're all here to have a good time. If you just cooperate, then we won't have any problems. Does Riley do anything at this moment?
No.
The people with come holding bags, they first thrust it out to the masks. They with a really harsh death glare start taking off their lots and lots and lots of jewelry that they're wearing, and then finally they show that they're out, and then the person with the bag, you recognize this as not Bertha, but one of the other people who was in the storm with you, comes up to you and says, excuse me, ma'am, all your valuables. Not making eye contact with you at all.
I just stare very, very intently at the person, and I what do I have on me? Not much, because I left all my room. Excellent. I take 5 gold pieces out of my pocket, and I put it in the bag.
With your staring intently, do you want to roll an intimidation check?
I would love to roll it in check. Oh, great. 7. Spectacular.
The gold kind of clings into the bag, and he's like, and the necklace too, ma'am.
And I kind of just, no.
The person like who has the gun steps up to you and like starts to move it from your back to your head, and says, and that person from the back repeats, "The necklace too, ma'am."
Feel this. And I go like, it's a worthless piece of stone, and it wouldn't be any of use to anyone but me.
It seems like it's pretty. And before that person can finish his sentence, you see Calandra just casually touch the heart necklace around her and says, looks up at both of the person with the gun behind her and the people with the bags and just says, "I believe that all of these treasures that we're wearing are of so much higher quality. I think they need to be saved for last. Don't you agree?" And three people kind of look at her and say,
Okay.
they just nod and be like, "Yes, ma'am, I think that's good." And they kind of shuffle off. There's still two people pointing their guns at the marks across the table. Calandra looks at you and you hear this similar whisper from behind your ear that says, "Grab my hand." And she kind of pulls her hand from under the table.
Okay, I grab her hand with a little bit of hesitation because I remember what happened last time.
As you, she's clutching the necklace and she grabs your hand. Roll a Constitution saving throw, please.
Literally, it's like anyone she touches? Okay.
So in an instant,
That roll?
yeah, you feel.
Oh dear God!
You feel like you're being thrashed around wildly, and your vision goes black, and then it goes bright again, and you just feel rain pelting you. Roll a dexterity saving throw because you are currently 10 feet off of the ground.
Oh fuck. 6 minus 3. 3.
That's funny.
God.
Calandra makes a very graceful landing on her heels with a click click. For you,
I'm gonna go ahead and full out face plant right here.
Yeah, that's pretty much what you do, and you also take 5 damage.
Holy!
As you land very hard on your face.
Oh my gosh. Can I take a moment to bewail my luck? Okay, wow.
So currently, heavy rain at this point is pouring on you.
Okay.
Yeah. As she looks down upon you and says, "Well, I'm going to teleport out of here. I'm sure there's some kind of raft or lifeboat somewhere. I'm sure you can find it on your own." And starts to walk off.
I'm going to peel myself off the ground, and then I'm not going to attempt to chase after her because I will just fall because it's wet and slippery. But I kind of call after her in the rain, and I go like, "You're just going to leave. You're just going to up and leave right now."
She stops, and sighs. She turns around. Half of me does not care about anyone in that room. But my other half would be very mad at me if I left them. Fine. She walks closer to you. Are you alright? Can you walk?
How alright am I? I've just...
You took 3 damage from her earlier, and you took 5 damage from damage
face
now.
planning.
So I believe you have a total of 20 health, so you should have a total of 12 health right now.
Yeah, I'm not too happy about that. Okay, I'm going to studiously avoid touching her again. And, I don't know, grab on the nearest railing and, pick myself up. And I'll be like, I'll be fine for now as long as that doesn't happen again.
I assure you that it won't. Fine. Here's the plan. I'll set up a teleportation circle at the back end of the ship, and I'll try to figure out a way to get people out. You need to go alert the captain that what is happening. I trust him.
Are we sure the captain's not in on this? Okay.
I trust him, and by I trust him, I mean that I read his mind for about 2 hours before I stepped on this stupid ship so that foolishness like this wouldn't happen. But I guess that didn't pay off. At any rate, he has no idea what's going on.
Okay.
So I think
and do I know where, like, the captain's place helm is from my wanderings?
yeah,
earlier
you
in the
wandered
afternoon?
around and you kind of got the feeling of the ship, so you have a good idea.
Okay. I just kind of like stare intently at her and like, all right, I will attempt to go find the captain and alert him. And I trust when I come back that you'll have something set up.
If you see any people on the way there, tell them to go to the back of the ship as soon as possible.
Okay. Can I roll a perception or insight to see if she's telling the truth?
Yeah, roll an insight.
Cool. Still don't believe this one. Yay. 19.
Ooh, nice. Again, she is very hard to read. She is expressionless and doesn't convey anything with her face. Despite that, you get some intuition based on how she was acting earlier, especially with the other half line, that there is some kind of maybe guilt, maybe some kind of external morality that she's obeying in this situation.
Okay. Alright, I don't really have any choice but to trust her, so I'm just gonna, like, nod at her and then attempt to go find wherever the captain's hanging out right now.
She nods back and says, one sec, sorry. Nice to meet you, Riley Zhe. And she bows. A very deep bow.
Okay. I turn without looking at her twice and I go.
Alright. I like your style. So as you walk forward, you see that there is an entrance back to where the normal, where your room was. There's also an entrance to the lower deck. Do you want to try going on the right, just straight across on the upper deck through the room area, or somewhere on the lower deck where you haven't explored yet?
I'm gonna go through the lower deck.
The lower deck?
Yeah. Wait, I haven't explored the lower deck.
Not the there's the deck where all the rooms are on, and then there's the one lower than that.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna go through the lower deck.
Alrighty. So as the rain is freezing cold rain is pelting you. Again, you're a dragonborn.
It's fine.
It doesn't bother
It's
you
fine.
all too much, but it's still kind of obscuring your vision. But thankfully, you get to somewhere where it's dry, and you feel the click, click, click of your feet against the metal grating as you walk down. How stealthy are you trying to be right now? Are you trying to get there fast? What's your balance?
I'm trying to get there fast. I'm not like bouncing off the walls or anything, but I know stealth isn't going to work for me, so I'm just not going to stealth.
Okay, so you start running through the decks below. It's not always actually roll a survival check.
Oh boy. $13.
So it's not always the easiest. It's a very winding and twists around as you go through. You're hearing boilers and stuff. You're not seeing any staff member or anything, but you can tell that you're slowly making it across the ship. Eventually, you kind of weave and wind your way to, you think is pretty close to the front of the ship. However, right in front of you, you feel a lurch as a ship moves, maybe by the storm, maybe by something else.
Okay.
And as you turn the next corner, you see that you hear a as a pipe is burst. and right in front of you, you see a stretch of quickly flooding hallway.
How close am I to the servants' quarters that I was in earlier? The one where I met Mekatork?
You imagine at this point pretty far away. You've been walking. That's near the back of the ship, and you're near the front.
Okay, maybe I should have stopped by there earlier. Never mind. Okay, do I see the source of the leaking? Is it just the one pipe, or is it like a hole in the ship?
As far as you can tell, it's just one pipe that's spraying out wildly.
How fast is the water going?
It's rising. About like an inch or two a second. You can definitely make it across.
Oh wow. I'm gonna. Why is Riley so suspicious? Why does she have to cast on me to detect poisons? Okay. How many cantrips can I cast?
As many as you like.
Excellent. I'm gonna cast Mending.
Oh, interesting. Is there a range on that spell?
I need to touch it. Ah, cookies. As long as the break or tear is no longer than 1 foot in any dimensions, I mend it.
As far as you
Leaving
can
no
tell,
trace.
the pipe burst is less than 1 foot from this distance.
Is less than 1 foot. Okay. So is it like possible for me to wade over and like touch it and mend it?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I do that.
Great. So you hear the slosh, slosh, slosh as the water is quickly rising around you. You clutch your holy symbol. You try to get your like face out of the water as much as possible, and you grab it. Roll a quick strength check.
Oh, cool. How am I on strength? +1. 9.
So you push your hand as hard as possible, and you're just barely able to get in there.
Okay.
You say the words necessary, and red glows around your hand, and you just hear like the grinding of metal as the thing reseals itself.
Okay.
As it does so, all the water eventually stops spraying around, and you see around you two small little trying to think how to describe them. You see sorry. You see what looks like a small swirling gust of wind, but it seems to have some sort of corporal form, and it has glowing eyes that are looking at you. Please roll initiative.
Oh, that is... Oh, cookie monsters. My initiative is also -3.
Correct.
So, 7. Oh god, I'm going to die.
Let me get my stuff.
I'm going to die. Okay. Hi, do I have my weapons on me?
Yeah, you generally have your weapons on you.
Cool.
You don't have any of the stuff that you kept in your room, though.
Yeah. Just mostly clunky stuff, so it's fine.
So you had 7. One moment, please.
I'm going to die. Okay.
Okay. This corporeal wind with red eyes that is staring at you moves to strike you with some kind of claw. Dun, 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 dun. 15. Look at your AC.
Okay, armor class?
Yes. What does that number say?
13.
13.
13.
Okay, so this does hit,
Ouch.
and you take 3 damage.
Oh
As
my
you
god.
feel this like searing slash, as almost like you feel a steam burn around your arm. Your clothes at this point are getting tattered, if not wet and gross already. you being momentarily distracted by the thing on your left, let me show you where these things are. That's important. Great. So the one in front of you, kind of sees you and encloses you on the other side and strikes out against you.
This fucking city better be worth it.
11.
Armor class 13.
So I said 11. So if it's less than that, you tell me that it didn't hit. Less or
Okay, then.
yeah.
I don't think it hits.
Great. So
I think that's how this game works.
yeah.
Okay.
So you prepared this time. That same claw comes right after you, and you jump backwards.
Okay.
So now it's your turn to go. So on your turn, you can cast a spell. You can.
I'm gonna cast Sacred Flame,
All
which
right.
is a cantrip.
Correct.
So they need to roll a. It's on any creature that I can see within range, and my range is 60 feet.
Great.
So they need to roll a Dex saving throw or take 1d8 radiant damage.
Is it in front of you or behind you? Would you like?
Right now, I'm assuming I have my back to the pipe I just fixed.
Okay. So would you like on your right or
And-
left?
Which one's closer to me?
They are equidistant from you.
Ah, fuck. I'll take the one on the right first.
What's your spell save DC?
Good question. 12.
Alrighty, they fail. Or one of them fails. So roll your
1d8?
1d8, yeah.
I think that was 8. 4.
A burst of light seems to sear this beast, and it makes a sound that sounds like high-pitched squealing wind. Great. So this other one's gonna go. 12. So I meant to ask you. My bad. Did you want to do anything else with your turn? Move, or use your bonus action? I don't know if you have any bonus action.
Do I have a bonus action?
I don't. Unless you one of your
I
spells.
don't think I have a bonus action.
Unless your spells take a bonus action, I don't think you have one.
I don't think I have any spells that are bonus actions.
Great.
They're all full actions. Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah, I'm not gonna take a bonus action.
Alrighty. So is that the end of your turn?
Is it possible for me to cast that spell and then move away from the other one that I did not engage?
If you move more than 5 feet away from it, it's going to get something called an attack of opportunity, where it tries to strike you as you run away.
I will move as far away as I can without giving it this opportunity.
Okay, so you move there.
Fighting is not my forte. Also, I can't see anything on the map. Is that right?
That shouldn't be right. I'm so sorry.
I have a nice black box. And a dice. A die.
Definitely tell me if you can just see pure blackness.
Yeah, pure blackness.
How about now? Really?
Still got nothing.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Something's happening. Excellent, I see things now.
I'm so sorry. I'm terrible.
No worries. Oh, this is very useful. Wow, that's a lot of water. Okay, I got you. Okay.
Alrighty,
I
so-
think that's the end of my turn.
10? Does 10 hit?
10? No.
Okay.
This is still armor class, right?
Correct.
AC?
Okay,
Okay, 10 doesn't.
it tries to strike you again with its claws. The other one, like inhales and grows larger, and then unleashes some kind of breath. Roll a dexterity saving throw.
14.
So you dodge out of the way as it exhales like something that looks like a scalding hot steam. You can feel the heat as you run away. And the other one is pushed back by this breath.
Excellent. Okay.
It is now your turn.
How close am I to the exit? Oh, I see.
Yeah, that way.
Um,
You see that there is a door on the other side.
yeah, I'm gonna head towards the door, but not enough to give them an attack of opportunity.
So right there.
Meanwhile, can I cast Sacred Flame over my shoulder?
Yeah.
Cool.
So they need to... they rolled a nat 1, so they ain't making that.
Okay. Let me roll a d8.
Whoa.
7. Cool.
So the first one is that, second one is that. So you just see this thing and just like slowly fizzle out from existence, as it is hit like a bright light that lights up the entire hallway and then goes back down.
Okay.
This other guy is pissed that you killed his friend. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, damn, he's fast.
5, 6. Within range of you. 13.
That's my AC. So.
You see this thing just fly at you as fast as possible, and then claw you right across the neck for 2 damage.
Ow. Okay.
You feel like you have just a huge burn right across your neck.
Made some bad decisions in coming here. Okay. I'm going to continue moving towards the door.
Okay.
And then cast Sacred Flame again.
You have more. Well, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, if you want.
I know I have more spells, but like
more movement.
if I can cast cantrips with like unlimited amounts.
No, I meant you have more movement. You can move up to there if you want.
Oh, cool. I'm going to move up to there then.
Great. Yeah, go ahead and cast Sacred Flame.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, it's my go.
Dex.
10.
Yeah.
Does not make it, right?
I don't think it does. Hang on. Wait, how does this work? It must succeed a Dex saving throw, which just means...
It rolled a 10, so compare that against your spell save DC. Which I believe is 13, you
It's
said?
12.
Oh, 12.
It's 12.
Great, so it fails.
So it fails. Okay. I'm going to roll a d8.
Yeah. Not terrible. So...
Oh, I get a proficiency bonus.
Not for that kind of thing.
Oh. Oh, yay. 3.
So, burning light, fire, envelops this creature, and it screams out a very high-pitched squeal.
Okay. Is it dead yet?
Nope.
Nope. Okay.
Runs at you.
Come
on. You feel another scalding burn as you take 1 damage as you're trying to run as fast as possible out of here.
Okay. Oh, cutting it close. Can I run out and slam the door on this guy?
Sure, you can try. He's gonna get an attack of opportunity on you as you run out.
Never mind. I will run halfway and then
if you move anywhere, he's gonna get an attack of opportunity on you.
Okay.
So as soon as you move out of his adjacent space.
Okay. What is a good idea to do right now? I'm really regretting not like preparing more attack-related spells, but
I mean, you did spend
Sacred
most of your
Flame.
time chilling, so.
Yeah, I do. I don't normally engage in hand-to-hand combat. I'm gonna go with Sacred Flame again.
Alrighty. Fails, so roll your d8.
Okay.
Another holy flame consumes this beast. It seems to be maybe a little bit aggressive, or maybe you're not doing too much damage because it is still running at you. This time, it puffs up again and roll a dex saving throw.
Ten.
Ooh, you meet. So you barely dive out of the way as a scalding blast of steam hits the door in front of you. Go ahead. Your turn.
I'm going to continue burning him because I don't know if cold is going to work well against this guy. So Sacred Flame. He needs to roll a dex saving throw.
Fails. You
Okay.
guys suck at dex. You fail all of these. Nope.
I roll a 7.
And with that, you clutch your holy symbol and unleash your anger for being burned over and over again. And this thing is just lights up the entire hallway and sizzles into burning. At this point, the water is starting to rise up to your knees.
I thought I fixed it.
You did not.
I'm assuming there's another leak somewhere else.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna go up the steps. Take a little moment. I'm going to cast Cure Wounds on myself.
Alrighty. So roll a d8 and then add 2, and then you can refill that of your hit points. So 6.
6. Oh, that bumps me back to 12. I'll take it.
And you can always cast multiple times if you do wish to do that.
Oh, but doesn't that use up spell slots?
It does.
I think I'm down to like 1 slot left for
Your
level 1 spells. Yeah. I'm gonna take it. I'm just gonna go upstairs. Am I close?
Yeah, you are close.
Okay.
So you run up to where you know the captain's quarters is, having to walk and explore. So you don't actually have to roll anything for that. And you manage to get, again, as far as you can tell, there doesn't seem to be anyone in this area, and you get right in front of a large, very nice set of doors. The rain, because you're outside at this point, is pounding on you. Even you're dragonborn and you're white, you still feel like you're cold. You feel that if you weren't a dragonborn, you would be worse off than you are right now.
Okay. Can I roll like a perception or insight to figure out if this storm is natural? Is that a thing I can do?
Roll a religion check.
Roll a religion check.
Yeah.
Cool, I have proficiency in that. Oh, fuck everything. 6. I hate everything.
You know that Seth is the god of storms, and Eel has some history with Seth, but based on what you can tell here, you can't actually tell if that has anything to do with what's going on.
Fucking Seth. Okay. I'm going to knock very hard on the doors and wait for like 15 seconds. If I don't hear anything, I'm kicking the doors down.
Alrighty. You knock on the door. Nothing happens. Ready to kick the door down?
I can try. I don't know if my strength's up to it, but...
Sure, roll a strength check.
Oh, cookies.
Oh, come on.
5 plus 1. 6. Yay!
So, thankfully the doors weren't locked.
Okay.
So when you kick them in, they do fly open in a marvelous display. And in front of you, you see as far as you tell, the same well-dressed captain as earlier. And the doors are open, so.
Is he there?
Sorry, if he's not on the right. He should be on, should you see him? Right there, there.
Oh, I see him.
Okay.
I definitely thought he was like a flashlight for a moment.
My bad.
Okay. Oh dear.
So he seems to have not even noticed the door behind you.
Okay.
And he slowly walks over to the left here. And you just see him flip a switch, flip another switch, flip a third switch.
Okay.
You just hear like the click, 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 click. Turns around. Again, not paying you any attention. What are you doing during this time?
Wait, so has he noticed me at all, or is he just like absorbed in his work?
He seems absorbed in his work, I suppose, because he hasn't noticed you at all.
Okay, I'm going to walk straight up to him, and I'm going to demand, with a little bit of huffiness in my voice, the I'm not gonna swear. But I am gonna say what in the name of Tiamat is going on.
He shoves you out of his way. Roll a strength saving throw.
Rude. Okay, sorry. I have a 9, 10.
So you feel a really pathetic shove from this giant burly captain, and you hold your ground. As you look up at him, you see his face is completely expressionless, and his eyes are black, and there's like a wispy smoke surrounding them.
Oh, that's creepy. Shoot. I hate everything. This city better be fucking worth it.
What do you do?
I cast command.
Ooh. What are you gonna do? What's your command?
Shoot. I can...
There's a one-word
How
command.
complex... It's a one-word command.
One word.
I'm gonna go with awaken. I'm gonna try to like get him to snap out of it.
Alrighty.
I have no more L1 slots left.
What's your spell save DC?
I should know this by now. 12.
Roll an insight check.
Oh boy. $16.
You stare at this man, and you, with anger and indignation and frustration, you say awaken. And you feel the holy energy go and through you to him. You feel like a surge, like something is welling in his throat, but then like it gets like clenched and angrily suppressed. It seems like he wants to obey, but he can't. He's gonna try to shove you out of the way again. Roll another strength saving throw.
Uh, 13.
He shoves you to your right, and you are now on the ground prone.
Do I take damage from that?
No.
Okay, cool.
It was harsh, but not anything that's gonna break your bones. He walks over to the steering wheel of the ship. If you would like to do anything in this moment.
I'm going to follow him to the steering wheel, but I'm not going to do anything as of yet.
Great, so you look at him while he's in this drone state. He grabs the steering wheel and throws it to the right as hard as possible.
Okay, can I...
Sure. You want to try to stop that?
Yeah, can I get in there and try to, like, seize the wheel?
Yes.
Take the wheel! Okay.
Make a strength saving throw.
Cool. Fuck everything. 5. I'm sorry, I'm swearing so much. This is what happens when I'm allowed to speak English after 3 weeks.
With intense resolve, you try your best and you try to hold it, but it's not happening. Roll a dexterity saving throw as you feel the entire ship just lurch over to the right.
Wow, -1. I presume I go flying and I hit the wall.
You do. You go flying and you do hit the wall. And you take 6 damage.
I am not amused. I take 6 damage.
Yes.
Oh my god, I'm going to die.
So currently you're trying to get your bearings here as you feel you're slammed against the wall. Let's see here. Does not.
he also get thrown?
Yes, he also gets thrown in your direction. And you see Lurch as he slams into the wall next to you, a little bit that way, and you feel like, and roll that.
Does that recalibrate his head?
And fails that, and you just see this like dark mist remove from his eyes. But at this point, the ship is kind of. You're finding that the wall is becoming more like the floor.
Ah, cookies. Can I scrabble back up to where the wheel is and try to turn it back?
Yeah, try to roll an athletics check to climb up there.
Cookie monsters.
Oh, that was real close to a nat one.
I'm checking my athletics. I have +1 on that.
You manage to climb, and you start to push the wheel upwards. Roll another strength saving throw.
$18.
Nice. You start to push, and the stips barely begins to reset.
Okay.
This man just seems dazed, but then he like wakens up for a moment, and as you're kind of focusing on the wheel, you just hear from behind you, "Watch out!" Roll a dexterity saving throw.
I'm going to die. 12. -3. 9.
So you kind of look backwards, confused, and then you look forward, and in front of you, sorry.
Oh dear God.
You see this swirling mass of shadow, huge in front of the ship. It seems to be vaguely humanoid in shape, but you only get a second of that before a hand reaches through the glass, shatters everything around you, and grabs you by the throat as it holds you up. Roll a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, wisdom? Oh, fuck. I'm gonna get possessed. Let's go. I get +2 on Wiz, so 8. Yay!
For your wisdom saving throws, don't you get another... Yeah, you get +4.
Oh, I get +4?
Yes.
Okay. So, an overwhelming score of 10.
You just feel unimaginable terror as this giant monstrosity of a beast picks you up and slowly drags it towards you to what you presume would be his face. You just see 2 glowing orbs in the center of his face, just flickering red like flames. And he stares at you. Are you going to try to do anything?
I'm gonna go ahead with Sacred Flame.
Okay.
I just feel like that'd be better than a breath weapon right now. I think...
Roll, I'm going to do something weird. Roll a religion check.
Roll a religion check.
Yeah.
$18.
Before you even touch it, you feel like the little, your holy symbol is already burning red hot. You grab it, and with greater strength than you've felt in your entire life, you feel it glow red. You say the words, and you yourself glow and burst into white flame. This thing, like, can't even touch you, and it throws you off the side of the ship.
Oh my God. Like, off the side?
Off the side.
I'm in the water now.
You are...
I'm in the water.
Well, currently you take 7 damage on the way down.
I think I'm dead.
You are unconscious, rather.
I am unconscious.
So,
Fun.
you have a last moments of confusion and terror as you plunge deep into a dark, cold ocean and you slowly lose unconsciousness.
Yay.
Now, roll one last Constitution saving throw, please.
Watch me die in the first campaign. I'm so dead.
Total of...
What do I add to it?
Your constitution, I believe it is 1?
+1.
Yep.
Yay.
7. You don't remember anything. Until
Oh, wow.
you feel the lapping of water at your feet. And, like, you try to pull yourself out of unconsciousness, and it's like, it's black and blurry. But you hear a beep beep, and then you slowly fall unconscious again. The second time you wake up, you look around you. You're on an unfamiliar beach in the middle of the day. It feels warm. Everything is sore and in pain. You see 2 men standing above you. You slowly again begin to lose consciousness. And as you fall, you hear them talking, saying, "What do we do with this one?" "I don't know. What do we do with this one? Someone this high up? We can't just throw her in jail. Give her to Calandra, I guess." "Fine." Then, and as those words leave that person's mouth, you lose all hearing of them, and you slowly drift off into unconsciousness once more. And that's the end of the session.
Dear God, what the fuck, Liz?
What the fuck? What?
Just sure. Applause. We'll go with applause.
Well, that
Holy
was
shit.
sad.
Yeah.
Wow.
So-
Also, shit, that damn smoke monster.
Yeah,
That was actually
wonder-
quite terrifying.
He was,
That was the thing that literally killed Morgan's entire village and took her eye and her family.
yeah, I'm wondering if that has some correlation too with the creature that was possessing the shifters.
Probably not.
probably not.
Yeah.
Guessing they're
I don't trust that eyebrow raise of
Campaign,
Liz's.
nothing's related to anything else.
That was actually a different Lady Calandra. She has a
Liz.
sister.
Hey,
Liz.
No,
Stick
no,
with
it
one
was-
another. It's incredibly awkward.
First Lady Calandra's wife.
what?
Or lover, second wife. I don't know. Joking.
Wait,
We
what?
know it's the actual Lady Calandra.
Oh, hey, Yvonne did manage to stabilize the cruise ship in the end, so...
Yeah.
Yay!
I'm really... Okay, cruise ship was fine after that, right?
You don't know.
Or is that... Oh, Cookie Monsters. Are you serious?
I said you managed to
Island
stabilize the
Cruise
cruise ship.
Okay.
It was a default that you saved a lot of lives.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice if I can remember it, though.
Oh, it's bad to have the same gimmick for 2 characters.
Yeah. And Calandra and I are on 2 good terms, but at least she knows who I am. That might be helpful. Liz, how much does she know about me?
That was does she know about you?
Mm,
I love
this isn't fair.
subtle
I don't
is
know
the
that
best.
much about her.
Subtle meta magic.
I'm just
is
so
the
looking
best.
forward to the group sessions where,
I know,
like,
rumors.
all the plot happens.
Yeah, we're not even onto the main plot, guys. It's the best.
It's going to be exciting.
What is going on?
Yeah.
It's it's really cool because it gives us because ideally when you write your character's backstory, you want to in the backstory give them like a web of NPCs that they know,
Oh, you guys' web
so
is...
part of the world.
All of
Yeah,
my NPCs
but-
are on the other side of the world.
Well, now not anymore. You know so
Looks
many
like you'll be meeting
people.
a lot of folks soon.
Yeah.
I am meeting
Yep.
a lot of folks, and I assume they are remembering what I look like.
You're pretty
Plus the NPC.
memorable.
Yeah.
I'm kind of memorable.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Wow.
Now you're in a city.
Wait, so they're gonna end up in jail? Does that mean Calandra was just like, I don't care about this one, and just
They were like, we can't
fucking Calandra?
just throw her in jail. We have to bring her to Lady Calandra, and Lady Calandra's just like,
Just throw her in
just
jail.
whatever.
Yeah, it's possible that we're in jail before, like,
Also, Bear, I think Mickey was behind part of the takeover of the ship, so.
Yeah, Meki was not overly enchanted with the rest
With
of
all
the
the rich
company,
people.
and did
Yep.
try to keep me down there, or offered
Yep.
at least, not try.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I feel like she was trying to keep Riley safe.
yeah.
Well, the good thing is, I think people like me. I think I've made generally a good impression. I've succeeded in my goal. I am making connections, and people are owing me favors. I like this.